I never thought my worst heartbreak would come from my own blood. Not from a breakup, not from a betrayal in love, but from my sister, the person I shared my entire life with. It still doesn't feel real. Even now, months later, there are mornings when I wake up hoping it was just a nightmare. Sophia is my only sibling. We grew up side by side, laughing at the same cartoons, fighting over who got the last slice of pizza. She was always the wilder one, the impulsive, emotional, dramatic one. I was the calm, responsible sister, the one who cleaned up her messes, who covered for her when she missed curfew. I didn't resent her for that. I loved her fiercely. I protected her like a second mother. Then came Daniel. I met him during a work seminar. He had this warm smile, quiet confidence, and the kind of voice that makes you want to listen forever. We talked all night, and by the end of the week, we were inseparable. When I brought him home for the first time, Sophia gave him a long, unreadable look. Then she smiled and said, "Nice catch, sis." I thought she was joking, but maybe that was the beginning of everything. At first, things were perfect. Daniel and I were happy. We made plans. We talked about moving in together. Sophia even joked that we were sickeningly in love. But little by little, I started noticing changes. She'd join our movie nights, sitting closer to him than to me. She'd laugh at all his jokes, too loud, too long. She started borrowing my clothes more often, dressing up when she knew he'd be around. At first, I brushed it off. I told myself I was being paranoid, jealous even. But then came the texts. Late at night, I saw his phone light up while he was asleep beside me. I glanced over. A message from Sophia, just 3 words. "Still thinking about you." My blood went cold. I opened the chat. It wasn't just that message. There were dozens. Flirty emojis, inside jokes, compliments, talk about dreams, fantasies, what if scenarios. It wasn't full-blown sexting, but it wasn't innocent either. I confronted Daniel the next morning. He said I was blowing things out of proportion, that Sophia was just being her usual dramatic self. I wanted to believe him. I wanted to believe both of them. I even convinced myself to forgive. Maybe I was overthinking. Maybe siblings and partners could be close. But then, I came home early one afternoon, and there they were, on the couch. Not kissing, but sitting way too close. Her hand on his knee, his arm around her shoulders. They froze when they saw me. I dropped my keys. They didn't even try to lie. Daniel stood up and said, "I didn't want to hurt you." Sophia added, "It just happened. We didn't plan it." Didn't plan it? You don't accidentally fall in love with your sister's boyfriend. They told me they wanted to be honest, that they owed me the truth, but the truth felt like a blade twisting inside my chest. I didn't scream. I didn't cry. I just left. I walked out of my own home, my heart shattering with every step. The next few weeks were a blur. I stayed with a friend, barely ate, barely spoke. My mother tried to talk to me. She said, "Love is messy. Maybe you'll understand one day." Understand? How do you understand being stabbed in the back by the 2 people you trusted most? And yet, somehow I survived. I got out of bed one morning. I went outside. I felt the sun on my face. And I realized I was still breathing. I didn't need closure. I didn't need apologies. I needed freedom. So I blocked them both, changed my number, started therapy, started journaling. And most importantly, I stopped blaming myself. Because here's the truth. Being betrayed says more about them than it ever will about me. If you've ever been betrayed, especially by family, you know how deep that wound goes. It doesn't just break your heart. It breaks your sense of reality, your sense of safety, of self-worth. But if you're hearing this now, I want you to know something. You are not broken. You are not the villain. And you are not alone. My sister and Daniel? They're still together, as far as I know. And maybe they'll even get married. But they'll always know how their relationship began. In silence, in shadows, in betrayal. Me? I may be alone right now, but I walk with peace, with dignity, with power they'll never understand. Yes, I was betrayed by blood, but I am rebuilding my own life, and this time, it's only mine.